My childhood house was haunted, and the ghost physically harmed me. This happened around 9 or 10 years ago. I used to live in a somewhat old house. The house was built in a small neighborhood with other houses looking the same. There were 2 floors. On the ground floor of my house there was a pizzeria, and above it was where we used to live. This is important later in the story. There were a lot of weird and unusual things happening in my house that would make us believe it was haunted. For example, stuff would go missing and turn up hours or days later somewhere it should have never been. There were sounds of someone running in our attic. My dad would always go to check if there were rats or even cats up there, but nothing was ever up there. Doors would close on their own and cold air would appear out of nowhere. I used to wake up with scratches on my wrist and legs in the same place every day. You could say I scratched myself while I was sleeping, but the funny thing is, as soon as we moved out of the house, I never woke up with scratches on my wrist or legs ever again. After we closed the pizzeria, we stopped using it almost completely, except for parties or after a few years just for storage. I and absolutely everyone else I knew were scared or uncomfortable being in the pizzeria. They would say it was too cold down there, too quiet, and some, including me, would say it felt like someone was constantly watching you. I had 2 dogs and multiple cats. I swear every animal was absolutely scared to go down there. Upstairs, some of them would go, but not all. My oldest dog would stay in front of the entrance to the pizzeria and would growl and bark. My cats would just run as fast as possible past it. There are still new scary stories I'm only learning about today from my family, or even people who came to visit us. 2 stories that personally scared me a lot were on a day when I played hide and seek upstairs in the house with 2 of my friends, M and J. There were around 3 very good hiding places. 2 were in the living room, one between the couch and a small sofa chair, and the other behind a different sofa we had. The 3rd one was in my parents' bedroom under a table. It was time for my friend Jay to search for us, and so she did. At some point she decided to look behind the sofa, and there was my other friend M, with her back facing her. My friend Jay called out to her saying that she could see her. That's when my friend M got out from a different hiding place. Jay, seeing this, got really scared and started crying. They told me to stop the game and to leave the house, which we did. To be honest, I didn't really believe my friend Jay, but hearing that my friend M saw something too behind the sofa made me question some stuff. And now, the story that not a lot of people believe. I was home alone, and I had to get ready because a family friend had to pick me up that day. As I was getting ready and getting out of the bathroom, which was at the end of the hallway, and the other end we had a balcony with big windows, and to the right were the stairs. As I was walking to the stairs, I just remember it was quite sunny that day, and out of nowhere, I saw, in the corner of my eye, a tall black shadow passing me fast. I got so scared. I knew it wasn't my shadow because not only was the light shining in front of me, which would make the shadow be behind me, not next to me, but also because it got cold. So I ran out of the house as fast as I could. Not shortly after we moved, and absolutely nothing weird happened again. I don't know if this means anything, but my dad heard from our neighbors that before we moved in, someone died in that house. Do you think it was a ghost? Or maybe an evil spirit?